Is it sweaty in here, or is it just me and all the table tennis going on? Welcome back to Major League Table Tennis. It's day 2, match 2, week number 5, coming straight to you live from Chicago, Illinois. And this is what you've been waiting for. Let's call in the officials. First off, put your hands together for Linda Leaf and Jovana Kesnovic. Whoa, Jovana. Jovana has changed so much. Jovana, amazing. And now I would like to bring in a team that couldn't be much stronger. They're playing for first place tonight. Put your hands together for Carolina Gold Rush. And their opponents, the team you've been waiting for, they've breezed on in. Make some noise for your very own Chicago Wind! I see those towels making some wind, and I expect to hear those feet creating some thunder. Now that all the Warriors are here in the arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
Another epic introduction from Adam Bobrow, making me feel like I haven't been working very hard up here. But we are excited to be back with you, the nightcap of the Saturday session, as the Chicago Wind, the hometown team, looks to get its first win of the weekend against the Carolina Gold Rush. Carolina in position to seize first place again in the East Division. Carolina 14-7 winner last night. They begin 11 points shy of Florida, and Chicago trying to get back out of the cellar. They need at least 6 points to create a tie with Princeton, trying to keep this East Division race close and competitive. And look, it really all comes down to the Golden Game. That's what we have seen over the first 3 matches here. Welcome back, everybody. Evan Leffler with Matt Hetherington. And Matt, I mean, these are your first Golden Games in person. The team that's had the lead has been 8-7 through the first 3 team matches here in Chicago, and that has been the difference. The team has pounced in the Golden Game and won the match.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's usually such a small head start, but maybe psychologically it just makes such a big difference for the teams. But the Golden Game has really just puts people on the edge of their seat. Every point can make a huge difference, and it's so difficult to guess what the outcome might be.
Here's the lineup for the Carolina-Chicago showdown. Enzo Angles in his customary first singles spot. What else catches your eye on the evening agenda?
I think the second match, a little interesting for me. A couple of left-handers. I'm left-handed, so I like those kind of matchups. But Daniele, obviously a player who's been on fire out here in MLTT and very aggressive with the forehand, while Jeremy Hazin's a good counter player, very close to the table, great control. So that style matchup for me is looking pretty interesting as far as things go here. And then also the third singles match. You got 2 big hitters, always great to see a match between 2 players like this.
Kai Jong and Alex Kazaku both were inactive yesterday, so it'll be both of their first opportunities to compete here this weekend. 4 singles matches sandwiching the mixed doubles competition, with Angles and Lin going against Provost and Tan. Emily Tan certainly raised her level yesterday. But let's talk about this first singles match. And if we're discussing why the Carolina Gold Rush have been so successful so far this year, the #1 reason has to be the #1 draft pick. Enzo Angles produces points every time he takes the table.
He really does. I mean, he's certainly going to have some stiff competition here from Sasha Kanin, who's been also a strong player for the Chicago Wind. Great kind of long, drawn-out strokes, gets good stored acceleration, especially on the forehand. But Enzo Angles, just explosive off both wings, lots of step around forehands, and has produced just some of the most outstanding plays and shots that we've seen so far in Major League Table Tennis. I think if you look overall also, Angles and Gorak kind of stand out as the players who, in each team tie, have excelled in the singles, the doubles, and the Golden Game. So the team does put a lot of responsibility on them to be out there and to pick up those points as their team's first draft picks as well.
Enzo got off to a great start yesterday against Jishan Liang. He beat him in 3 straight games. Outscored him 33-18 over the course of those 3 games. Sasha Hanin lost a golden point at 10-10 to Mark Duran to lose his match 2-1. It was close and competitive the whole way. This will be Sasha Hanin's first opportunity to face Enzo in a singles match here at the MLTT level.
And of course, just before we do get started here, just correcting that the other umpire is Jorge Venegas. Was introduced a little incorrectly as they walked out. Had a little umpire switch up, so on the left, Jorge Venegas, the umpire of this match, along with Linda Leaf.
Busy early calling Let's. Good start for Sasha. What are the keys for the big Belarusian here in your mind?
Obviously, when you're playing a left-hander, looking for opportunities to catch them out wide on the forehand. You know, left-handers, they like to anchor on the corner, rely on the step-around forehand a lot, so dropping short to the forehand, putting pressure on the backhand, and then opening up into that wide forehand corner is a bit of a nightmare for a lot of lefties. And we can see that he's already started off by doing that.
Enzo gets on the board. Enzo went 8-1 in Daytona Beach in singles, 5-4 in Myrtle. He's 3-0 so far here. Add it all up, he's 16-5 so far in singles games. Only was beaten in a match once by Damian Provost. That was a month ago on Damian's birthday. Damian playing later tonight against Roman Lawrence. For the first time they see each other in MLTT in a singles match too. That's why you buy a ticket and come to see Major League Table Tennis, a point like that.
I have a feeling this match is going to be full of those.
Sasha currently 9-9 in games MLTT singles so far in his career.
Good placement on that first opening from Enzo. Just a little into the elbow there.
Heavy hitting. Angles outmaneuvers Hanin just barely.
You've got to feel in these big rallies that Enzo has a slight advantage just for that extra little bite that he gets in his forehand contact.
Oh, Angles apologizing, but he will take the net cord winner. Topspin got that ball over the net.
Good half-long opening there. Kept the ball nice and low, tough to counter. Always important when you're picking up those half-long attacking shots.
8 straight points for Enzo. He's down 3-1 early. But he has completely seized control of this opening game.
Certainly keeping the local Chicago crowd here a little quieter. Haneen just throwing hands here. Great combination of shots.
The home table advantage has not necessarily been a huge advantage so far in MLTT. It is early. That's well done. Haneen back within 4.
9-5.
Definitely wants to try and open up some more of those third ball attack opportunities. I think shorter rallies, if he can punch through, Enzo will be better for him.
10-5.
Game points here for Enzo Angles. His coach, Alex Yang, called him the obvious #1 pick in the MLTT draft.
Pretty hard to argue with that. And again, I guess next month that might be tested a little bit more. But for now, he's certainly showing plenty of evidence to support that claim.
And that game was just a great display of his abilities. He can play big hitting from the backcourt. He can win points from over the table.
Yeah, he certainly showed his strength in the open rallies. You know, both of them backed off half distance from the table, and Enzo was just a lot of power, gets great snap cross court, great shots down the line.
And if this was a golden game, the first 4 points, Haneen won 3 of the 4, but obviously it was all Enzo after that.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a difference. I actually spoke with the Princeton Revolution guys after their match, and we were talking about how different it is, the approach to a whole singles match and to the Golden Games. And you know, the Golden Games people really come out swinging and fearless and just going for broke. Sometimes the singles, they tend to build into the strategy a bit more steadily and go for more controls. Chicago Wind fans out there, plenty of them.
1-0.
They're going to have to make some noise and get behind their man here.
Yeah, Carolina has had Chicago's number through the first couple of months.
Haneen this time
0-1.
getting a great quality forehand in there. He's going to have to work more to back Enzo even further off the table, or maybe squeeze him a little bit into the backhand corner, get him off balance.
What's going through his mind here? He's just got the first 2 points on Enzo's serve. Try to consolidate those.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to get in, to get the first 2 points against your opponent's serve, especially when serve is such a big factor. But you've also got to make sure that you don't put too much pressure on yourself to deliver on your own serve as well. Because we have seen players come out here, especially in the Golden Game, and make service errors. And, you know, that's largely because there's so much pressure on them to perform off their serves.
Angles back within 1. We'll go to the towels with Haneen in front 4-2. You add up all the points from 2 previous meetings with Carolina and Chicago. Add in the 1 point that Enzo's earned today. Carolina 31, Chicago 12. As you look at the lineup today, where do the Wind have an edge, do you think?
Which way does the wind blow today? Where do they have an edge?
The answer, my friend.
I think in the 5th. I think Provost could definitely. I mean, he's shown his ability to really pull it out in the singles matches against the best players in the league. He has win against Enzo, win against Gorak, so he's certainly a player I think the Chicago Wind can rely on here. Probably the most in this match.
Big fist pump from Angles.
4-5.
For it. The first person you hear after that point's Emily Tan.
6-4.
Very vocal supporter of the team.
Ooh, service ace from Sasha.
7-4.
That was a good one. Great response from Angles.
When he gets in at the start of the point with power and with those angles, pretty difficult to come back from.
Roman Lawrence, Hong Lin on their feet.
Time. Enzo bringing it back.
Oh my, what a fantastic, treacherous deep serve that was.
Just cut the perfect angle to the corner there. It's going to tie things up and add some pressure here.
Another good rally won by Angles as he takes the lead here in game 2.
7-8.
You can, even in this replay, you can see the difference in speed between the two players once they get into those open rallies. If Enzo's in position and he's able to throw his weight into the ball, you probably see a 50% more addition in spin and speed on his forehand shots.
Timeout taken by Eric Owens, the coach of the Wind, the USA Table Tennis Hall of Famer.
Damian Provost also lending some advice here for his teammate.
I'm a little surprised you didn't say that Daniele Pinto against Jeremy Hazid is a good advantage for Chicago today. I mean, we haven't seen Jeremy yet this weekend. We'll see what level he's at. But Daniele has won his last 3 matches in 3-0 sweeps.
It could be. It very well could be. Yeah. Oh, I think style matchup-wise, Jeremy is so good with placement and with control over the table. Daniele serves a lot of long balls that people have tended to struggle with. I think Jeremy might be able to handle them a little bit better. So for me, if I look at it overall, I think Damian Provost still is the player that I find stands out as being a reliable pick.
7-8.
I mean, with any of these matches, it could go either way. I mean,
sure.
Roman is tough as nails.
Yeah, he's
out
playing
there.
well, too.
Yeah.
All right, Haneen down by 1. It's a big hitting out of the timeout to tie it up 8-all.
Great changes in placement from Haneen. He got Enzo off the counter attack and onto the more passive and more defensive. If he can drive him off the forehand and back to the backhand side, it's a chance for him to take more control.
Oh, goodness gracious.
9-8.
Textbook execution.
A bing and a boom.
That's a big set play for a left-hander.
What a return from Haneen. Sent Enzo lunging and he couldn't get there.
Zero hesitation from
9-9.
Haneen on that serve return.
So Angles has a chance to go up 10-8 on his serve instead. It's 9-all with a serve back to Sasha. He trails 1 game to love. That will do it. He needs 1 more of those and he'll take game 2.
Great serve variation. Pops up the return.
Second straight winner to the forehand side.
It's a great place to go against the lefty. Forehand corner.
Game point. And he's got it. Turned out to be a pretty good timeout for Eric Owens. Haneen was down 8-7 when he took the timeout. He was quickly down 9-7 after that. But he comes from behind to take game 2 and create a very intriguing rubber game ahead.
Serve game for Haneen in the end there really made all the difference. He was able to pick up some loose serve returns from Enzo. And he was in a position where he kind of had the pick of where he wanted to play the ball and managed to choose the placement perfectly. Some great forehand attacks from him. Sometimes down the line, just getting that forehand corner exposed and then finishing things up as well with that great placement right down the middle of the table. No answers on those shots from Enzo.
Haneen's been another great story. You know, a guy who wasn't taken all that high in the draft. He was a 6th round pick, but he's consistently been in one of the A or B slots, and he's held his own. He's now 10-10 in his MLTT singles career games.
0-0.
And an opportunity here to take down the #1 pick. Haneen serves to start game 3.
Stop. 0-0.
Ooh, big chance. Enzo just clawing that wide forehand ball back.
0-1.
And Sasha wants that last forehand back.
But that forehand corner placement really opens up opportunities for him.
Net. 0-1.
Enzo takes both points
2-0.
on Sasha's serve to begin game 2, or game 3, excuse me.
This would give him some breathing room here in the first game. Takes the first 3 points. And this time, Enzo not putting too much pressure on himself to be that aggressive, but looking to just guide the ball wide to the forehand. And you can see him already getting ready, anticipating the ball to come back cross court.
Wow. Angles, his forehand swing was knocking him over. And yet he stayed in the point, multiple shots. Going for big swings, but Haneen's on the board here in this third game.
Got this ball back. Great retrieving.
Oh, Sasha! Hello! Incredible is right.
4-2.
Even Enzo with a little nod there at the end. Respect.
Just predicted Enzo's placement so well. Enzo with the step around. Won't be happy to miss that opportunity.
4-3, timeout.
Timeout taken here by Carolina. Angles still with a 4-3 lead, but Alex Yang trying to nip any Chicago momentum in the bud after Sasha has scored 3 straight points here.
Gives you some indication of how important this match is, this opening match for both teams. Timeouts being thrown down here.
Each team has 2 timeouts to use before the Golden Game. And you can't take more than 1 timeout in a single match. So each team has a 3rd timeout to use at some point during the Golden Game. No more than 3 timeouts for the match, and you can't take any more than 1 timeout in a singles match or Golden Game.
Could see in those last couple of replays some really effective reverse pendulum serve work from Haneen and incredible follow-ups, especially on that counter down the line.
Do you prefer the pendulum serve or the reverse pendulum serve?
The reverse.
Why?
It's just such an awkward serve for people. I find that people generally don't receive it that well. Yeah, and it's easier to cover up the spin variations as well. Enzo looking for control, but Haneen finding that wide forehand corner again.
Sasha up to the task, and that has been the corner for Sasha's success. 4 straight for Chicago to tie it up.
4-4.
Led on the serve. Game all, 4-all. Haneen again.
And down the line.
To the forehand side.
Yeah, he's really found his mark with that placement.
You can see the frustration growing on Angles' face right now. Wearing the frustration. He was in control. He was up 4-love. Now down 5-4. If there's a guy who can figure it out in a spot like this, it's Enzo Angles. 6 in a row though for Haneen.
4-6.
Seven straight.
Steady forehand opening. There's some pressure on Enzo to be the one taking more risk here now. Hasn't been able to execute these last few points.
Haneen had scored 4 in a row since the timeout. 7 in a row overall, but Angles goes to the towel, back within 2. Certainly plenty of twists and turns in this first singles match. Oh, goodness. Sasha Hanin is pulling out all the shots tonight.
And really a case of X marks the spot. He just keeps going back and just landing clean winners down that forehand line.
I think I heard Enzo just mutter, too good.
And he connects again. The quick changes out to the wide forehand down that forehand line have just been super effective. Enzo missing that backhand opening.
To your point, Matt, you were talking about matchups. I mean, Sasha went 2-4 previously in singles against Roman Lorenz. But now he's taken 2 out of 3 from Enzo Angles. What a performance from Sasha Hanin as he wins 11 of the last 12 points.
That's a big win for him, and you could see the momentum shift. He got so much more confidence with his forehand, and we didn't see these long counter rallies. You know, as I said earlier in the beginning, you know, the open rallies, Enzo pretty strong. It was up to Hanin to get in and to kind of exert his dominance early in those points and try and close them out quicker.
Sasha's got the headset on. Welcome, Sasha. Congratulations. What a match. What a performance. What are you most proud about the way you played here tonight?
I'm really proud that I played much better than yesterday, and I think it's really important for me. Because, I mean, yeah, Enzo is a very good player. I'm very happy that I can beat him, but also I'm really happy that I can improve my game from yesterday, because yesterday I didn't feel so well like I can feel. Yeah.
And in the early part of the game, you played a lot of open rallies with Enzo, and it was difficult for you. I mean, he's a very scrappy player and plays with a lot of power.
Yeah.
How important for you was it to catch him down his forehand line, to get him out wide on the forehand corner?
It was really important, but also was important part that I start to play a little bit closer to the table. Because when I play far from the table, he has a lot of time, and I think he has more power than me. So I should play, if I want to beat him, I should play closer to the table. Yeah.
Your coach called a timeout in the middle of
Yeah.
game 2. What was the primary message?
Just continue your game, like he said. You play really good, and so one more time he said that I must play closer to the table. Yeah.
And you come from behind to win game 2, and I'm sure you expect Enzo to come out strong. He scores the first 4 points in game 3.
Yeah.
What are you telling yourself in your mind there?
I just don't think about score. I just try to think about every point, like step by step. And finally, it works. Yeah.
11 out of the last 12 points to get the job done. Congrats on getting your team off to a great start. Sasha,
thank you.
well done. That's, I think, pretty clearly the biggest singles win he's had in Major League Table Tennis. To take 2 out of 3, coming from behind in game 2 after dropping game 1.
And so well deserved, too.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, 11 out of 12 points is not easy against the top draft pick.
All right, another guy who's been playing really good table tennis is Daniele Pinto. He's been as hot as anybody in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's come out and had some really strong performances, and we've seen him come out here and he's been one of those players that's won 3-0. Lots of forehand power. As I said earlier, Jeremy Hazin stays close to the table. Very, very, I guess, regimented game style. You know, very controlled on the backhand, lots of forehand counters. So I'm interested to see how these styles clash against each other.
Good start for Hazin. You look at the numbers coming in. Pinto's 10-5 in singles.
1-0.
Hazin has struggled. He's 3-9. But styles make fights.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that kind of stands out stylistically for me is that Daniele relies on the step around forehand a lot. And he's got to find space to hit through against Jeremy, and that's the challenge for him. So that's what I'm interested to see. Jeremy's not easy to hit through because of how he stands at the table. He's kind of a wider foot stance, kind of hangs over the table. Really good control. So yeah, I mean, the two options for the main two options for Daniele when he steps in, do you hit into the backhand of Jeremy where he has control? Or do you hit into the forehand where he can use that power and counter with his forehand? So I think it'll be a great match. I really do. I think tactics will play a big role here for both players.
Intriguing opening 6 points, 3-all.
4-3.
That was the longest point yet. It's been pretty quick 8 points here between these two guys. They're hurrying back to the table, not dilly-dallying whatsoever. Hazine from Ontario, singles national champ in Canada. With shots like that.
Yeah, that forehand counter over the table is something that Pinto is going to want to avoid. But will he be able to is the question. This was one of the things that I also brought up earlier was Pinto loves to serve long with topspin variation, you know, to give himself a chance to set the pace early. I think it's a player like Jeremy is a little bit more comfortable with that than perhaps some other players.
We're tied 3-all, tied again at 6-all. What do you want to see from Jeremy on his serve?
I think keeping it tight. So lots of short serve variations. For him, it's keep it close to the net. Look for a good opportunity to put pressure on Daniele on his first ball. Because if Jeremy puts the pressure on, then it's much easier for him to control the narrative of the point.
Couple good points there for Hazine.
This is going to be a good match.
7-8.
Jeremy just solid.
He's moving Daniele around.
9-7.
9-7 lead for Hazine. It's really the first unforced error from Jeremy
9-8.
sort of the whole game.
You can see what he's trying to do, but just floated that ball a little bit too long. Goes for it again.
Pinto takes both points on Hazine's serve, and it's 9-all.
9-9.
Again, Hazine not really phased by these topspin serve variations.
9-10.
Hazine takes game one and snaps the streak of consecutive games won at 9 for Daniele Pinto.
Very closely contested first game here. Jeremy just catching a bit of luck there with the net. Both players tend to use quite simple strategies, I guess. You know, with Pinto, it's the long, fast serves. He tries to get a soft response from his opponent, and then he gets in and attacks. And with Jeremy, it's a lot more about just blocking until the chance to counter comes up.
The KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay, glad you clarified that.
Time.
I think it was my 10th grade biology teacher
I don't know if I like where this is going.
that taught me the KISS principle. He was big into acronyms.
So it would seem. So players back to the table here.
Mr. Richmond.
Oh, you're naming names now too. Come on, you know you're not supposed to kiss and tell.
We're talking about two different things. Want to flip over that point for Daniele. And it's a 2-0 lead.
0-2.
So he's taking those long fast serves away from the middle of Jeremy's backhand, which is helping him a little bit already.
One, two.
Oh, that's nice.
Solid forehand opening.
2-2.
Just supreme control from Hazim.
Now, you called it. And I was looking at the records of these two players and Daniele's momentum coming in, but Hazim's style is giving Daniele some problems.
Yeah, this is, for me, was the biggest factor in this match. I mean, we saw it with Ojo yesterday. You can be running hot, you can put a masterclass on, but as soon as you come up against someone who has certain skills that take away your strengths, then you're looking at a totally different, I guess, match landscape.
Three, five.
Pinto just sticking to his forehand attack there.
4-5. Five.
Easy smash.
Scoops it up, but
5-6.
not much chance with the ball that close to the net. And a long backhand-to-backhand rally between these two left-handers. Pinto finally taking the option to step around. Bit of a risk, but it would have paid off if he'd got that ball down the line. And Hazim almost looked a little bit stagnant with his footwork in that point. Had a chance to step around on that ball, but didn't really move for it.
Seven.
Pretty even footing here, and Daniele Pinto putting in a lot of work here for each point. That's a tough break at this stage of the game.
Believe it. He won 3-0 yesterday over Benjamin Brossier, but he was in trouble here against Jeremy Hazim.
And Great angle there to break the table wide. Outside the backhand. Goes in.
Perseverance from Pinto.
It pays off. The amount of effort he's having to put in to get a point here is pretty incredible, but he's up to the challenge.
Hazin was playing the role of brick wall pretty well there for a long time.
And he picked the right ball to try and counter on, but unfortunately just not quite enough lower body work on that one.
10-8 lead now for Daniele. And he's fired up.
So is the audience.
8-10.
Just the grit and determination. Look at the table coverage and movement from Pinto. Hazin steps up the offense.
Jeremy fighting back.
9-10.
Yeah, he's got to be conscious as well of not being too passive. The control game works well for him, but he's got to mix in attack as well. And the net will give Daniele Pinto a little help.
11-9, the Italian takes game 2. Second straight match where the two players split the opening 2 games. Hazin's like, you gotta be kidding me. Pinto's like, thank you, table tennis gods. And we got game 3 coming up. Did Daniele figure something out in that game too? Was it just some good fortune and some good shots? Who has the edge as we head to the decisive 3rd game here?
I think it's still a pretty even match. I mean, you see the sheer amount of work that Daniele Pinto has to put in to get a point. To find gaps in the defense of Jeremy Hazin, it's not an easy task. I mean, he has great backhand blocks, great forehand blocks, and yeah, finding a spot to hit a winner through is tough. It's a matter of who finds that opportunity first. Can Daniele find the opportunity to hit through Jeremy before Jeremy finds a chance to counter? And I think coming off the bench here, you have to feel like Jeremy will try and be a little bit more assertive. He's got to put some more pressure down. You can't just stand there and just block kind of same pace. So a little variation could make a big difference here.
0-2.
Pinto frustrated by that error, talking to his team on the bench.
Good separation there. Whole table width apart between those 2 shots.
Return sails long and it's 2-all.
I think one of the things that's become predictable for Pinto is knowing that that backhand flick from Jeremy is relatively plain. There's not too much action on it. It's more about handling the placement for him. So that helps him set up the point from his serve a little better, I think.
These 2 players very close in age, about 13 months separating them.
Pinto, 13 months older, and a smash to tie it at 3.
Again, look at the difference in placement. Just catching those corners is making a huge difference. It's risky, but those are the kind of extreme angles that Pinto has to play to find a hole in that wall.
to go back to something you said at the start of this game, and how Jeremy needs to be a little bit more assertive, because on a point like that, he was just in defense mode from the start.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, it's on the forehand side. You can afford to focus on placement and control with the backhand, but when the ball comes to your forehand, you've got to take the chance to counter more, which he does in this point. And it's not that much more, it's just a little more. Even if it's with spin, just take those opportunities to get the forehand in and not just play a plain block. 5 points each here. It's about as close as it gets. Just puts the ball long. Serve return's been pretty reliable throughout this match. Not on that one.
There's the reliable forehand attack. 6-6.
You can see how much of a difference it makes in points when he's just blocking kind of plain with not too much spin. And again, Hazim puts the ball over the end of the table. Super flick there, down the forehand line.
Daniele opens up the 2-point lead. And he gets it back on his serve with a chance to create some distance.
Hazim pressuring himself maybe a little bit too much, especially on the backhand towards the end here. 3 unforced errors on the backhand side. This time more steady.
9-7 with Hazim getting 2 serves here. These are huge.
An apology, but he'll take the point with it. 10-7.
Game point, Pinto.
Hazim stays alive.
I like that serve return. Hazim is 1 step ahead.
Oh, what a shot by Hazim. I was thinking at 6-6. I didn't say it, but I was thinking, this feels like the type of game that if it's not win by 2 could go on for a while. And look, the next point could end it, but it also, if this was win by 2, you could see it going 25-23. These guys are that close.
Yeah, and this is one of the cool things about a style matchup like this is you just have to imagine how much tactical thinking is going on for both of these players and their benches and coaches, just to figure out how to get the upper hand. So 1 point down, but Jeremy Hazim showing that he is prepared to be a bit more aggressive with the forehand, but he's had some problems overplaying the backhand in this 3rd game, especially on serve receive. So I think
Where's Pinto going on this serve? Deep?
I think, yeah, most of his serves are being deep. Most of Jeremy Hazim's backhand returns are being cross-court, and then Pinto gets him with the step around. So if I had to hazard a guess, I would say it's a pattern that at least Pinto can predict. Might be where he goes.
Hazim missed the return, and Pinto wins the battle. A thrilling and entertaining table tennis showcase, and Daniele outduels Jeremy 2-1.
And you could see in that replay there, Pinto get around the corner straight away. just the probabilities of what had happened throughout the match, of that ball coming back to the corner, stepped around straight away. So honestly, a really smart move by Jeremy to try and direct the ball down the line, but if you miss the table, it doesn't matter where it's going.
All 3 games settled by the same score, 11-9, and Daniele comes from behind. Daniele, well done, my friend. That was exciting and exhilarating as a spectator. What was it like to be at the table for that intense 3 games of exciting table tennis?
I really don't know how to play with him because he just blocked me from forehand to backhand. So I was trying to run as much as possible and trying to catch him in the middle, because from the corner it was really, really good to block the ball. So this was my tactic. And I really don't like to play with left-handed players because they always play backhand with me, and you know, this is not so good.
And what kind of tactics were you trying to figure out to, I mean, were there particular times when you found really good space in the table? I mean, we saw some points where you were having to hit 5, 6, 7, 8 quite powerful forehands before you found a gap. So what was your strategy for trying to hit through him?
I think the problem was that I was playing a little bit far from the table, and he has the time to understand where I was going to play. So yeah, just try to play a little bit closer and strong to middle, and make many long service to his backhand. Yeah, to be ready to play immediately a strong ball.
It was a thrilling match from start to finish, and I mean, how are you feeling about your level right now after a couple days here in Chicago?
I'm happy about my matches, a little bit disappointed because yesterday in the Golden Game I was not so brilliant with Ojo and Olapo, but I really don't like playing with him. So okay, hope today in the Golden match to play better than yesterday.
Thank you, Daniele. Time for doubles. We'll see you in a bit. Angles and Lin versus Provost and Tan, mixed doubles.
It was interesting to hear him say there he wasn't too much of a fan playing other lefties, because Ojo is left-handed as well. So, all right, and for a big doubles match here, Emily Tan yesterday was just fantastic at being the player to take the initiative and get those first strong loops in.
As a lefty, Matt, do you like playing other lefties?
Yeah, I love it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Because as a righty, I'm not a big fan of playing lefties either. And I'm thinking more from my tennis background, but
I mean, most right-handers are used to playing against other right-handers. There's far fewer lefties to practice with. But yeah, for me, the angles playing backhand to backhand, I'm quite lazy with my feet. So you know, if the ball's coming to me, then I'm happy.
both these doubles teams, one righty and one lefty.
Pretty classic combination, 2 forehands in the middle.
Good stuff from Provost and Tan.
You can see their confidence together growing. They didn't win their match yesterday against Gorak and Ekholm, but they had some moments where you could see they're making strides. Provost can't believe he sailed that long.
Yeah, and I think we also saw the same with Princeton, with the Revolution.
Right.
Great doubles match today. You have to wonder how much difference that could make overall if their doubles combinations were to start to really step up.
Three in a row for the Gold Rush before that miss.
5-4.
Tan going for the forehand. Enzo and Hong leveling things up here. Certainly seeing a lot more pressure coming from Damian Provost here today.
Five lead for Provost and 10 as they go back to the towels.
And pushing deep, trying to get a softer opening from Hong Lin.
Last time these two teams played, Matt, it was Sasha playing doubles with Emily against Enzo and Hong, and Gold Rush won 3 very tight games, but they won them all. 11-10, 11-7, 11-9. Another tight game brewing here. Tough break for Carolina.
Just rolls over.
Chicago will take it.
7, 8.
And Emily Tan continuing with those heavy long pushes.
9, 7.
Putting enough pressure on the opposition.
Provost tried to slice it.
9.
Don't know why.
He kind of shut down there a little bit. I don't know what happened. It's a great backhand punch from Tan.
Missed it.
Big start here for the Chicago Wind.
Enzo, a long look at his bench. Not sure if he's looking for answers from his bench or not, or just trying to understand. Game points for Chicago.
Good steady play from Hong Lin there.
9, 10.
Another close game in doubles between Carolina and Chicago. 10 all.
Pressure's on. Hong has been pretty steady here in this first game.
Provost will serve golden point.
And Enzo Angles takes it himself.
Big finish there from Enzo. And he's absolutely pumped.
That's elite stuff right there in the moment.
Look at that. Look at the airtime that Chang Kai got there on that point. It was great to see that that connection back to the bench.
Yeah, for this sport that's so often isolated, singles, maybe doubles, you have one teammate. Major League Table Tennis creates a different dynamic. And that chemistry and camaraderie and strategy and using the brain trust that you have, both strategically and emotionally, is a huge factor. It's hard to describe, but it's massive.
It really is, yeah. As I've said, I mean, this sport in this country and in many countries around the world, it's become so individual. And if we're going to get into the mainstream and if table tennis is going to be promoted, it's like other sports. People need personalities to get behind. They need teams to get behind. And we haven't had that in table tennis. And this is, having these team franchises and having states that people live in that they can get behind their team is really something different and something special. And right now it's on Chicago here to get behind their team, who had a great start in the first game.
And we're up 10-8. Felt like they were up 5-2, frankly. And my mind was going to the dynamic of how Florida and Carolina have been the top two in this division, and they were the top two teams yesterday, particularly in the Golden Games. And would today be a separation Saturday, where things would continue to get further apart with the top two and the bottom two, or would Princeton and Chicago create a more competitive race? Princeton gets the edge over Florida. Something good brewing here for Chicago. Again, here in game two, they should be up 5-2. They could be up 5-2 easily. 5 of the 7 games in this match so far have either been 11-10 or 11-9. Angles lunging for the net ball, frustrated he couldn't get it. Takes a little frustration out of that ball as he smacks it to the corner. Ball boy was ready. Two lead here in game two for there's some confusion over who is to serve. Both Dan and Lynn had a ball. That would change the dynamic of doubles if there were 2 balls on the table at once. I think it'd be entertaining.
Nice steady opening there from Provost. Good follow-up from Emily Tan.
You ever play doubles with multiple balls?
No.
You thought about
really
it.
Difficult to answer a question like that.
3-5.
I've played triples before, which is something that you really never see. And actually, we were the first tournament in the world to host triples. So in 2006, by way of technicality, I was actually the world champion at triples.
Congratulations.
And defended my title in 2007.
Were you the inaugural champion, the first ever champion?
Yeah, just on technicality, like there was no other tournament.
This is unbelievable.
We actually got challenged by I was going to say a pair, but it would be a team, I guess.
A trio.
From Germany. They said, we want to challenge you for your title and we want you to come to Germany. And we said, no way, man. Like, why would we come to Germany? We're the champions. If you want our title, you can come to us.
Respect that. Did they come?
No.
New Zealand's really far away.
Yeah. Great place to have a world championship title and not have any challenges.
So you said you won in 06 and lost in 07. What happened in 08?
No, we won again in 07. Lost in 08.
You lost in 08?
Yeah, lost in 08. I changed to, I had a different team. So the team that I won with, we won twice. And
they will never take that away from you.
They'll never take that away from me.
The triples, you alternated shots the same way doubles teams do?
It's tough.
Sequence?
It's pretty tough. Deceivingly tough. It sounds kind of novelty, but it was pretty challenging.
7-4.
Were there a lot of collisions between you and your partners?
There were a few, yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to form a line that goes away from the table.
Hong Lin, big forehand winner. And that brings Carolina back within 2. I think of it as probably like a game of knockout in basketball.
It's another lingering opportunity here for the Chicago Wind. You'd almost hate to see them lose another opportunity here.
Ooh.
The nets traded back and forth.
6-7.
Emily Tan nodding. Can't win them all.
Oh, that fickle net.
Just 1 point of separation here.
Good return by Tan.
8-6.
Man, that was a huge point. Lin responds. Gold Rush back within 1.
7.
And I'm with you, Matt. I mean, if Carolina can steal this game, similar fashion to the way they stole the first one, all of a sudden we're 4-4 overall when it feels like Chicago's been the better, more consistent team. Eight all.
Goes for the flip.
8-8.
Just a little bit too far away from the ball contact there.
Gold Rush into the lead.
Hong's really been a consistent anchor for the team.
In a lot of ways, this feels like what we've seen from Gorak and Ekholm throughout the season. Late in games.
Yeah.
They win. 10-8 now for Enzo and Hong.
8-10.
And we saw this Carolina pair come from a 10-8 deficit down in game 1. It's up to Provost and Tan to replicate that feat. Otherwise, we'll be tied 4-4 on the overall team tally. That's it. Angles and Lin come from behind for the second straight game. And they've got a 2-0 lead in doubles. 22-18. But a 2-0 lead nonetheless.
So, bit of anguish there for the Chicago Wind, holding that 7-5 lead, getting turned around to 11-8. Again, a pretty big run of points there from the Carolina pair. Of just stuff done really reliably and they're being really steady. And I think Hong kind of took the responsibility on her shoulders there of rolling that first ball in consistently and with good spin. Great control. We didn't really see Enzo take too much risk. And I think in the earlier games when he took the risk and he was more aggressive, he wasn't quite finding his mark on a lot of those shots. So it's almost like he's kind of stepped back a little and opted for a bit more control.
Tell you what, Bastien Dupont is not an active member of the lineup today, but he is an active member of the coaching staff and the cheering section for the Carolina Gold Rush. He is locked in on the Carolina bench. That's teamwork. That's camaraderie you love to see.
I actually walked past their bench before they started the match and I'd left my sheet here, so I'd forgotten the lineup and kind of tapped him on the shoulder and asked him if he was ready, and he was like, well, I'm ready to support my team. So he knows his role here and how important it is as well.
It's a real lapse in security, letting you get that close to the bench.
I could blend in.
1-1.
Maybe not inconspicuously, but
The accent stands out.
Provost kind of having a little bit of trouble with that empty forehand flick.
What do you mean by the empty forehand?
Doesn't really have too much topspin on it. It's kind of just floating the ball a little bit. The problem with the forehand flick compared to the backhand is you don't have really any wrist action. So you either have to drive the ball quite quickly or you have to use a lot of wrist. And sometimes you go for those more empty flicks, and I feel like he's been just a little tentative on a couple of them. Emily Tan just loading that forehand up with topspin. And again, set up well by Tan. Hong, reliable as ever, rolling that first backhand loop through. Provost not able to execute on the forehand counter.
That's great doubles.
Just great balance of shots there from both sides. Some topspin, some safety, some drives.
Points where all four players are scrambling are pretty entertaining.
And Emily Tan with the backhand flick. Great change up there from her.
They'll switch sides with Angles and Lin ahead by 1, 5-4. The order of play shifts as they switch sides. Is that an advantage to one side or the other, or do you feel like it's been pretty balanced regardless of the order?
I think generally it's been pretty balanced, yeah.
What do you sense Damien was telling Emily there?
Probably just to stay in close to the table. I mean, if he can put good pressure on them and they're going to open more consistently, then it's a good chance for Emily to backhand punch or forehand drive. I'd be guessing, but
It's a good guess.
yeah. I think also Hong's been playing cross-court a lot, so you know, he's pushing long or half long. She's getting a chance to open up, and a lot of the time it's going to Emily's backhand. So yeah, she needs to be ready for that. Rack it up.
Too good.
Power, pace, angle. Enzo's got it all. And this game has gotten away from Provost and Tan. They probably should have won game one. They certainly could have won game two. But it's a 3-0 sweep for Enzo Angles and Hong Lin. 11-10, 11-8, and 11-4. Angles and Lin keep it rolling for Carolina in the doubles department. And just like that, it feels like it's a 3-0 win, and Carolina takes the overall team lead. Joined now by Enzo Angles. Enzo, there were
some tight moments in those first couple games in particular, and yet at the end of the match, you win 3-0. What was it like finding your groove and getting better as that doubles match went along?
We are double, so we have to count on the other as well, you know. That's why it's important to build the points. Since yesterday, my legs are in the plane, so it's like this. I have to keep going. It cannot be perfect every day. I'm a little bit sad and frustrated that I lose this first game because I have to win. But my legs and my level was just not here today. So it's okay. We keep it up with the double. It's very good win. 3-0 because 3 points is a lot, as you know, and then we come back in the race like that.
Your level was there on the golden point return where the serve came, and what were you thinking? Were you envisioning finishing that point on one swing?
I like this backhand receive. I never did in this double yet, and I was pretty sure how he was about to serve, and I was like, I have to take my responsibilities as well, you know, so I have to go for it, even if I miss, but I have to go for it fully, because anyway, if I miss, but I cannot just go half.
And for you, having a partner like Hong, who's very consistent, for this match, when you're communicating with her, I mean, her backhand opening was so steady for you guys. Was that something that you were trying to reinforce with her, is getting the ball in with good spin, and that was your best chance to kind of get into the points?
On her backhand?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes she step around is a little bit useless, and she has a good backhand, you know. So, but I mean, we actually coach each other during the game as well, because many times she is down, and I have to bring her up all the time. Today and yesterday I'm a bit more down, but she also helped me a lot. So I think that's what makes a good double, and here we are because we didn't lose yet. So hopefully we keep going like this and we continue.
Real quick, Enzo, will you do anything between now and the Golden Game to try to raise your level for the Golden Game that's coming up?
No, actually my level is there. It's just that I don't put the ball on the table. Like in the double, I miss a lot of forehands, but it will go, you know. I have to keep going and it will go. I know it will go, but it's like the ball at 10-9, you know. It go on the table. But so you have to keep going and be persistent, and that's it.
Appreciate the perspective. Thank you. We'll see you in the Golden. Enzo Angles, after he and Hong Lin take it 3-0. And here we go with a couple other big hitters. Carolina's Kai Zhang and Chicago's Alex Kazaku. First appearance of the weekend for both these guys. And we expect some fireworks, especially from Kai Zhang, who he does not really take his time in terms of going for his shots in a good way.
Definitely two big hitters here. Slightly different styles, but yeah, powerful attacks from both forehand and backhand with both of these guys. Last time they met up in week 3, Zhang Kai was able to take the first 2 games. Kazaku pretty convincing to steal back the third. So we'll see how things start off here in this matchup tonight.
Two.
3-2 lead for Kazaku, 34-year-old from Romania. And he's played well in singles. 8-4 so far in MLTT.
That ball just went straight through the defense of Kazaku.
How would you characterize the stylistic differences between these two guys? You said there's a little bit of a difference between them.
Yeah, I think Kazaku's style's a little bit kind of classic European. They used to call them power looping players. So, you know, big swings and a lot of feeling in the contact. Zhang Kai is technically precise. Still big shots, but yeah, very, especially Chinese style forehand.
When you say Chinese style forehand, what personifies
a lot of
that?
it's also to do with the rubber type as well. So it's like a harder sponge, tackier top sheet. So it's a lot of kind of sharpness in the contact. So the stroke has to be more linear. You don't have as much room to change the shape of your stroke.
Does that require more exact delivery of the ball to the paddle to the ball?
Yeah, and a lot of repetition. This is why a lot of the players that grew up in China have just gone through boxes and boxes and boxes of multi-ball and just repeated these strokes over thousands and thousands of balls.
Oh, tough break for Kazaku. And Zhang ties it up 6-all. He was ready. The big forehand was lined up. Gonna have an opportunity there, and clink. Not a happy cheers for Kazaku. Zhang in front, 7-6. Kai started training in China, and he was in kindergarten. It's been about 2 decades since he was in kindergarten. Meanwhile, Kazaku's been playing over 2 decades. Started as a 10-year-old in Bucharest, Romania. He's now 34.
Great forehand counter there from Kazaku. You can see the shift in body weight into the ball. Lots of hand adjustments, racket angle adjustments, and shifts in body weight. Goes for it again. Never afraid to go after those opportunities. Just really bold in these points. You know, sometimes even if you miss that ball, it still puts pressure on your opponent, thinking, okay, they're not afraid to take those shots. So maybe I need to be a little bit more powerful with my opening, or I need to hit the ball a little bit deeper.
Caught the net, sailed off the back edge, did not catch, and Kazaku has the first game point of the match.
10-8.
Big forehand to get the job done.
Convincing stuff from Kazaku. 11-8 over Kai Zhang in game 1.
So this is a perfect example you can see here in slow motion. If you look at the forehand, you'll see the path of the stroke's not necessarily linear. He kind of hooks over the ball more. So those kind of variations are really common in European table tennis. And it comes from playing a lot of matches, you know, maybe not doing a crazy amount of multi-ball to get the technique perfect, but playing a lot of matches and experimenting and just getting a feel for how you can change your racket angles to change the effect on the ball. And Kazaku played some incredible forehands in this first game, and he's trying to rewrite the record on the matchups of these two.
Go. If you are watching online, our YouTube channel, Major League Table Tennis.
9.
7 of the 10 games in this team match between Carolina and Chicago have been decided by 3 points or less. It has been tight. A lot of close games earlier in the Princeton, Florida match as well.
1 game to
There
0.
were 4 golden
Kazakh
points
serve.
in
0,
the 15
0.
games we played earlier.
They had Friday to make sure they were warmed up. Saturday is all business for these guys. So a big start for
0, 0.
Alexandru Kazaku. Can he continue the momentum here?
Kai Jong's going to have something to say about that.
0, 1.
I remember back in September when Sean O'Neill was mesmerized by Kai Jong's backhand.
I remember that broadcast.
And Kai's like, I've got a pretty good backhand. What are you talking about?
1, 1.
Yeah.
He could use some of those backhand winners here. Change the flow.
Just playing a little bit looser in the short game. Not really doing him too many favors. He's either got to keep that ball tight to the net or do something different. Kazaku just riding the wave out here right now. Again, you can just see in those pressure situations when the ball has to be kept short and tight, it's Kai Jong who's just faltering a little bit. Kazaku is picking up on those slightly higher ball opportunities. Kicking off to a big lead here in the second game. The backhand. Once he gets into these exchanges, his follow-ups are pretty good. Gets good snap on the ball, especially on the backhand side. A few more backhand opening errors from Kai Jong.
Wow. Alex Kazaku is having himself a game. Everything's coming back. Impressive. Service error from Jong.
9-3.
The second game feels academic right now. Kazaku closing in on a 2-0 lead for Chicago.
Oh, just
ridiculous.
Rips the ball down the line.
It's like he's on autopilot and just in the zone. Can't believe that missed. I mean, I guess he's human.
Can't have them all of it. This time it's Kazaku who pops up the short receive.
5-10.
Serve probably a little bit long to be trying to control short. She'll get it this time. Big forehands coming from Kazuko. I'll tell you one thing, Evan. I will not be at the bottom of the fantasy league after this.
You had Kazuko, didn't you?
I certainly did.
He is
He's in form. He's playing
repaying
great.
your confidence.
He's just such a dynamic player. I mean, once he starts swinging, so much power, and it's, you know, it's almost like we're watching Ojo again. He's just teeing off.
You too can compete in MLTT Fantasy, Fantasizer.com. The stats are updating, I think, after each team match.
And the good thing is, if you're similar to Evan, you can enter late, so you can enter any time. And then all you have to do is talk about the weekly standings and completely forget the season standings, which are apparently
what it's all about.
not that important. So
I'll tell you,
even if you get to the end, get in, why not? Fantasy League for table tennis hasn't happened before. I'm having great fun with it.
after the first match tonight, both you and Sean did rise into the top 50, so congratulations. You're not in the top 10 yet like I am, but there's still time. Kazaku will help.
Yeah, this will help.
Tomorrow the action starts earlier, 11 a.m. for the first and 2:30 p.m. for the second.
So first two games for Kazaku. This is opposite so far to their last encounter, so then you have to question whether Kaijang can come up with some solutions here to take the third. And Kazaku going for a pretty crazy shot there.
1-0.
Would have been interesting if he got that on.
That's the rip that we've been waiting for from Kaijang.
It's all about the setup. If he can set up his forehand and get in, there's a big difference between Kazuko on the front foot and Kazuko on the back foot. And it's the same for both players. So, Kaijang getting some early pressure here. Needs to get at least this 1 point on the board for Carolina Gold Rush to keep things even.
3-1.
Kazuko going in for the counter attack, but
That would have been unbelievable if he had hit that.
I must say, looking much better on the forehand out there in this game. And the backhand.
Yep, that's the backhand. And he really pops it. Pop.
It just goes to show how important the serve and receive is. I mean, these shots were there. I mean, he has the skill set. But in the first two games, just wasn't able to get in. Right now, looking pretty good here. And he's doing a good job of locking Kazuko up. Keeping him a little off balance.
Chicago fans trying to will Alex back into this third game. They want the sweep.
Hit. 7-2.
Obviously, the team lead hangs in the balance. Kaijang trying to tie this thing back up for Carolina. Great backhand to backhand rally and 8-2 lead for Kai.
This is playing out almost
2-9.
completely mirror of their last match in week 3.
Yeah, in the reverse, right?
Yeah.
Because Kai won the first 2 games
9-3.
close in that one, and then Kazaku stormed away in game 3. Caught the edge. Everything working for Kai here after he was down 2-0.
I'm sure his teammates on the bench are kind of thinking, where was this in the first couple of games? And
Kazaku not interested in battling back. He's going to take his 2 points to the bank. Kai Jong able to salvage 1 point for his team, and we are tied 6-6 overall. Just imagine where Chicago would be if Provost and Emily Tan could have finished off 1 or 2 of those doubles games. Chicago's taken 2 out of 3 in each of the 3 singles matches, but the doubles 3-0 sweep for the Gold Rush is the reason we are tied. Joined now by Alex Kazaku. Alex, well done. Certainly in games 1 and 2, it felt like you were locked and loaded, playing great. How do you feel about, your level as you step to the table for the first time this weekend?
It was okay. I was nervous in the first set. And I tried to play short balls because I know he has powerful top spins, forehand and backhand also. And it worked well in the beginning, and I had the control to attack. I could attack first.
And you played him last month in week 3.
Yeah.
He got a good start. This was kind of the complete opposite for you. So what did you take away from your last match with him that helped you?
Also, last time I lead first set, I think 6-2 or 6-3, and I lost. And then second set, like 8-4, I lost again. I think I was more calm this time.
What has been the story so far for the Chicago Wind this season? Obviously, you guys have been very successful in singles, but doubles and golden games have been a little bit more tricky. What's your perspective on how the season's gone so far?
It's difficult. It's difficult, as I said before. It's very important in golden set, because we rotate and it's fast. You don't know what happens sometimes, and you wake up, you lose or you win anyway.
What will you do between now and the start of the golden game to get ready for it?
I will relax a little bit, get some rest, because soon I will start.
Very good. We'll let you go. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Well done. 2 out of 3 over Kai Jong in the 3rd singles match. We got 1 more singles match tonight before the golden game, and this match will decide who has the team lead heading into the golden game. Roman Lorenz to take on Damian Provost. And this is a really interesting battle of styles.
Yeah, I mean, Roman is a player that tries to get on his forehand and stay on his forehand. It's a tough style matchup to play against someone like Damian, who has really good control. But we're going to see what Roman can bring to the table for this one. Whether he relies a little bit more on backhand than he usually might.
Lawrence has a good record against Chicago, but both previous team matchups he faced Sasha Hanin in singles. Took 2 out of 3 both times.
1-1.
Meanwhile, Damian also has an excellent record against Carolina. He's 5-1 in singles against Carolina. That includes taking 2 out of 3 over Enzo last month.
Yeah, and his performance in singles has been up there with, I mean, last night winning against Gorak, he's taken on the best in the league and come out on top. It's going to be interesting to see how Roman approaches this from a tactical standpoint. Often goes for kind of more high arc, heavier topspin loops. Great opener down the line there from Romain Laurent.
30-year-old Frenchman.
This time, Provost sending the ball down the line.
Lawrence took the opening game against Princeton's Jin Wong yesterday, but then lost games 2 and 3. So he's 1 and 2 in the weekend entering the night. Overheats that one 4-all.
4-4.
So Romain was 9 and 9 in singles through the end of October. Sitting now at 10 and 11 as he takes the table here. Meanwhile, Provost, a pretty impressive 14 and 7 in singles, which, as you mentioned, includes the 2 out of 3 over Gorak yesterday.
Romain just steady, rolling through the ball. Taking a couple of opportunities to put a little bit of pace when he sees a gap in the defense or an opportunity to do so. He's getting fired up here. Doing a great job of connecting between forehands. Great movement in that point. Plenty on the line here for both of these guys.
Yeah, and for the whole teams. Like, a 1-0 deficit at the start of the Golden Game is far from insurmountable, obviously. But the fact remains, teams that have had the lead going into the Golden Game are 19 and 8. And in the 3 matches this weekend, that did not catch Provost with a point.
6-7.
Teams this weekend had a 1-point lead at the start. They're 3-0. Small sample size, I know.
It's something though, you know.
It is. It's definitely something.
The mentality of going in ahead.
8-6.
Maybe it's the confidence of knowing that the team performed better.
You outplayed
yeah.
the other team, and you just got to do it again.
Get the job finished. Tries to get back in with the forehand. Provost just as steady as ever. Not overheading too much. But certainly getting plenty of pace on the ball at the same time.
Tight opening game here. 8-7 Lawrence. Excellent forehand loop from Romain Lawrence to double his lead.
7-9.
Short and spinny. Provost returned it long. And that is beautiful.
Great wide angle there. Provost Fades it out to the forehand corner.
10, 8.
Great deception.
That's game. 11-8, another tight one. Goes to Carolina.
Big fight there from Roman. Saw some fantastic forehand movement. Just great combinations of forehand attack in that first game from Roman.
Before we get to game 2, I just want to revisit the East Division standings. This is before this Carolina-Chicago match started. I mean, look at the singles record. In this match, Carolina, or Chicago's now 6-4 in singles here. You add that to it, they've got 51 singles wins. That's more than anybody. And yet the Golden Game lack of success and the doubles lack of success, they're now 6-18 in doubles. It's really been tough for Chicago, because from a singles standpoint, they have been the best team in the division, and yet they're near the bottom.
Yeah, and I guess it's a painful painful lesson for them, but it does encourage that movement that we've talked about, that movement towards more team oriented, and yeah, you know, the doubles in the Golden Game, more team oriented, moving away from the individualistic singles competition that that has really been the foundation of table tennis here in the US. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great stat for them. Having those singles wins is great, but in this competition, you
Roman
gotta
wants a
have
new
it
ball.
That's nifty.
He's been very confident on his forehand attacks, the forehand opening, the forehand follow-up throughout the first game and now continuing into the second. Provost, one of his biggest strengths is that forehand counter. A little bit late on that one.
It is interesting, you know, over the first couple days, it feels like everybody's kind of beating everybody else. No one is dominating here. Everybody who's played has lost a game. Except for Ojo, although he struggled a little bit late
in the Golden Game.
Yep.
Yeah. Good hands there from Roman to guide that net ball back in. Could see he just nudged it a little bit, gave it a little bit of something. It's enough to make a difference. Provost doing his best to pick himself up here. Looking for the backhand of Roman Lawrence. It's been hard to find. He's been playing some great forehands. That one, Provost was ready for. A couple of great forehand counters this game. Another good example
Provost frustrated after that miss.
Right.
5-all here in game 2.
Very, very low forehand opening there. Roman taking a pretty big risk to try and step around on that.
That caught the edge, and it's a Provost point, and he leads 7-5. The two benches right now could not be more different. Everyone from Carolinas chilling, hanging out. Eric Owens is all alone on the Chicago bench as the Wynn players are getting loose for the start of the Golden Game. Eric, I wouldn't say he looks lonely over there, but
I would.
he looks pretty comfortable.
It's going to be interesting to see how that approach impacts the Golden Game for both teams.
Excellent forehand.
Nice little misdirection on that. Those forehand fade shots from Damian Provost. Really high level execution. And again, Provost just steady with the opening topspin, looking for the backhand of Roman Lorentz.
Roman trying to fight back here in game 2. We've seen his Carolina teammates do it a bunch tonight. Coming from behind in games to win. Game point here though for Provost to tie up the team tally, 7-all. Not yet.
Some more visible frustration from Damian Provost. Knows he needs to take the second game.
Oh, great shot by Lorentz there. And all of a sudden it's 10-9 and things can get a little nervy in these parts.
I'm nervous for them and I'm not even playing. I'm up here.
Deep breath. Big serve. Oh, Lorentz battles all the way back to 10-all.
Great pickup. It's so risky. Look at how much he clears the edge of the table to get around on that forehand. To create that angle, you have to give up so much of the open table, and the risk pays off.
I was wondering if we were going to get a timeout there. We do. Timeout, Chicago. After Provost had the 10-7 lead and Lorentz has fought back to tie it. One more point. What do you think about the timeout call with Just the one more point coming up here will determine it.
Really a little bit late, I think. It's a lot easier.
10-9?
10-8 even. You know, I mean, it's an important point for them to close out, and it's difficult, you know. Calling a timeout at 10-10 when it's 1 point, and it's one universal point, it's tricky because you can come back and it's really, it's like the Golden Game. When you have short point sequences, anything can happen. So, yeah, and especially with Roman holding the serve, it's pretty hard to plan. You can plan for possibilities and take some educated stabs at what might, how things might play out, but yeah.
Let's see what happens.
10-10.
The umpire's ball toss hit the edge of the table, forcing Lorenz to chase it down. Gives him an extra second or two to think about it. Golden point. And Provost able to pull it out. 11-10. Chicago ties it up 7-all.
Great setup opportunity there from Laurence. The ball popped up a little bit, but just kind of overstretched and overextended on that forehand flick. And let's see Kai Jung throw his head back on the bench there. A big opportunity for Roman Laurence to double down on his first game, but Provost holding steady there under immense pressure. Opened up a great lead and held a pretty good position there at the end of the second, but yeah, a risky 10-10 timeout from Chicago Wind bench pays off, and it's going to be 7-7, and we're going to see another 8-7 going into the Golden Game again this weekend.
That'll be the fourth in a row. Fourth time in a row, it'll be 8-7 one way or another. Fans enjoying it. I mean, this has been a really good day of table tennis. The Princeton, Florida match, and now this one.
0-0.
Almost 60% of the games overall have been decided by 3 points or less. Lorenz off to a good start.
0-1.
Try to respond to losing Golden Point. Chance for Roman to create some early separation here if he can take care of business on his serve.
He's had more great success with the forehand.
3-0.
As usual for him, this is really his comfort zone, is getting in with the forehand and capitalizing off each shot.
Missed opportunity there to go up 4-0.
Takes a little pot shot straight down the line there.
Oh.
1-4.
Better at 3-1 than 10-9 for that to happen, but still stings if you're Damian.
Interesting decision there by Provost to try and use the forehand there.
5-1.
Right in the elbow.
Around this time every match, I start thinking golden game order. What the coach can try and do to take a risk, create a mismatch. And if you can create a mismatch where you feel like you can go 4-0 or 3-1 and the other player that's maybe a slight mismatch can pull out a 2-2, I mean, that could be the difference.
Yeah, I mean, so much thought going into the order for the initial lineup and the golden game.
3-5.
One of the luxuries that the coaches have is that they kind of alternate picks, so there's some opportunity for them to see the order as they go. But
there's another netball winner for Lawrence. Provost continues to fight. Scrapping and clawing here in game 3.
big forehand across the middle to the body. He's had such good balance of power and placement with the forehand throughout these 3 games. Provost with the counter. Lawrence controls it well with the backhand.
4-8.
This would be a good win for Roman if he can pull it out.
Certainly would be.
Not over yet.
5-8.
We have seen crazier turnarounds than this. Provost back within 2.
8-6.
The lead heading into the golden game, hanging in the balance.
8-6 timeout.
And we get a Carolina timeout after 2 straight points for Provost. And Lawrence will chat with his coach, Alex Yang. Inactive Bastion DuPont has been very vocal from the bench area as well. A reminder that over the course of the first 2.5 months of MLTT, the team that has had the lead going into the golden game has won 19 out of 27 golden games, 2/3.
This experience is his control with a steady hand and a very skilled transfer of mind. This is a guy who can find answers
better than
even
2/3.
against some of the fastest, most
Accurate.
players in the game. Timeout called. Players back at the table. Roman Lawrence and Damien Provost.
7-all in the team tally. 8-6 for Lawrence here in game 3 after these two have split the first 2 games. Damien winning on golden point to create this rubber game. Oh, great response from Lawrence off a pretty good forehand from Provost.
Hey, Provost getting that fade in again. Probably didn't quite get it as wide as he wanted.
Caught the net, but it worked out beautifully. 9-6. First time tonight the umpire has issued a warning for the height of the ball toss. Interesting time to do it.
Yep, ball toss has to be from the hand.
I suppose it's nice to get a warning rather than just to call it a
Yeah, they're usually pretty good with giving a warning first. Not all umpires will. Some of them will take a point straight away.
The angry umpires.
Strict rule stickers.
Alrighty. Getting to the business end of this singles match. And it is still very much a toss-up. One more serve here for Damian, trying to even the score at 9s. And that'll do it.
It's long, fast down the line. Damian Provost coming back into this. This is a tough spot for Roman. Remember, he had the serve in hand for the universal point in game 2. See how he handles this pressure situation with the serve again. Handles it pretty well on the first one.
Sure did.
Provost knew where the ball was going. Just not able to get the right connection on that ball.
Game point, Lawrence.
He takes it.
11-9 for Roman to take 2 out of 3 over Damian Provost. Tremendous battle between the two talented Frenchmen. And it's Carolina that will take the 2-1 win in the singles match and make it an 8-7 lead heading into the Golden Game.
Really superb play from Roman Lawrence. So confident on the forehand. We saw a lot of kind of 1-2 punch rallies where he got him with the forehand with good power and then played some really strong follow-ups. As much as he tried, Damian Provost not able to neutralize Roman this time.
Let's figure out the Golden Game order, the commish.
Starting with a 1-point lead, Chicago, you pick the first player. Sasha Kanin, you're number 1. Coach? Romain Lawrence, you're number 1. Number 2. Enzo Angles, you're 2. Damian Provost is your 2. You're 3. Daniele Pinto is your 3. Kai Zhang is your 3. You're 4. Jeremy Hazin is your 4, making Hong Lin your 5th. You're 4. Emily Tan, excuse me. Yep. Making Kazaku is your 5. Okay, good luck, coaches.
It's one of the more interesting Golden Game orders we've had in a while. The lineup's completely shuffled and jumbled. We'll get the cross-gender battle in the 4 and 5 slots. We get the first round draft picks, Enzo and Damian meeting again after Provost took 2 out of 3 from Enzo back in October on his birthday. And we begin with Roman, who just won 2 out of 3 over Provost against Sasha Hanin, who played so great against Enzo earlier tonight. This is a spicy Golden Game that we've got for us to finish off this Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the discussions amongst the other teams has been the influence on the Golden Game that that Hong Lin has had. She's been so strong against the other female players, and there's been this question of should they change up the order? You know, should they stack their female player against another one of the male players that they might be able to sneak some points from and put somebody else up against Hong Lin? So this is a very interesting strategic decision from Eric Owens to really shake up the order here, and pretty interested to see how it works out.
Lawrence created the 1-0 lead, and he doubles it on the opening point of the Golden Game. A big, booming forehand winner. And now the serve goes to the Frenchman.
Josh. Henin so strong in his first singles match, but it was an hour and a half ago now.
I like Alex Yang sending Roman right back to the table to start the Golden game. Different matchup, who cares? He's hot, he's feeling it.
And he takes all 3 points. He's really responsible for creating this 4-0 lead.
Yeah, definitely. A very, very good decision by Coach Alex Yang.
0-4.
Angles versus Provost. Chicago on the board here in the Golden.
1-4.
Angles gets one back. Reestablishes the 4-point lead with the serve going back to the other side. Carolina an advantage to potentially create more separation here. That's nifty. Big time stuff from Enzo Angles.
He said it himself, they will go, they will go. He has confidence in his big shots.
Enzo didn't like the feel of that ball, gets a new one. Missed it.
Goes for the shot, but not quite there.
Provost able to split the sequence. 2-2. Now, Daniele Pinto against Kai Zhang.
Another occasion where Pinto has gotten caught stepping around, but Kai not able to land the ball on the table.
2 straight for Daniele. When these two guys played singles against one another in September, Kai Zhang swept Daniele 3-0, but all 3 games were super close. All 3 decided by 3 points or less.
There's that big forehand that we saw from Kai in the 3rd game of his singles match.
7-4.
What a point. Zhang takes it to split the 4, 2-2.
Really risky play from Pinto to try and take that outside angle.
Big turning point there. Pinto gets the 2 with a little momentum. Zhang snatches it right back. And now Emily Tan, Jeremy Hazin. Great stuff from Tan.
Things could get interesting. You have a player like Jeremy Hazin who loves blocking against Emily Tan, who loves to hit the ball hard. She just moves the ball around looking for that chance to get in.
That one sailed long. Hazin splits the 2 points on Tan's serve, and now he gets a couple on his paddle at the start.
Just moving the ball around the table really well, keeping Emily Tan off balance.
3 out of 4 for Hazin, including 3 straight after dropping the opener. So the lead expands for Carolina. And now Hong Lin versus Alex Kazaku. Both these players were involved in the original ESPN Ocho Day MLTT showcase. Got to know each other then, and now they're going head to head in this big spot. Good start for Kazaku.
6-11.
Big forehand wind up there.
Excellent 3rd ball attack.
7-7.
Not much Hong Lin could do. So it's a 4-point game.
Back to Lin. Oh, great response. A beautiful block angled perfectly.
Kazaku, such a big swing, but left a lot of table open there.
Hit.
To left.
12-7.
Will it be a 4-point game or a 6-point game as we head back to the top of the order? Kazaku able to narrow the deficit by taking 3 out of 4 from Hong Lin.
So giving some words of reassurance there to Hong.
Only person on either side that doesn't have a point yet in the golden game is Sasha Hanin, and that streak ends now. And Chicago's creeping back into this thing after trailing by a bunch early. Sasha Hanin with one more serve. And he gets it to a 2-point game at 12-10. Frustrated slap of the ball from Hanin. Frustrated that he couldn't return that serve. Lawrence looking for the split. Maintain the 4-point lead.
Hit. 13-10.
He'll get it. I mean, definitely putting in a better performance in this second run through of the lineup.
If we're tied 20-20, it'll be those two guys again to decide it. A lot of work for Chicago to do to get there.
Enzo just in his zone. Getting those powerful forehands in.
These are 2 big points for Damian Provost. Final 2 points of the day for both these players right here.
Enzo just solid on the forehand openings.
Oh, Angles. 3 out of 4. 6-point lead. And Chicago needs Daniele Pinto to make something happen against Kai Zhang. That's something.
That's something indeed. Just the speed that he gets off the serve into the forehand follow-up.
Zhang responds. Carolina's pulling away here.
Pulling away behind the big forehand of Kai Zhang.
Pinto earns the 2-2 split. But now Jeremy Hazin with a chance to close this thing out. He got 3 out of 4 points against Emily Tan last time. This is a big ask for Tan. She needs 3 out of 4 to stay alive.
There's one.
Great stuff from Emily Tan. Just pressuring that backhand corner.
Gotta have it on her serve. That'll do it.
She will. She takes 2.
So it's a 4-point game, and the pressure shifts over to Jeremy's shoulders a little bit. And Carolina's going to take its timeout. Tan will continue to bounce around, and we'll see if Hazin can close it out or we get to Kazaku and Lin. And if we do, Kazaku had the edge on Hong Lin. As good as Hong has been in Golden Games, Kazaku has been playing great table tennis too.
Jeremy's definitely under a little pressure here, but he does have the serve, which is...
Oh, goodness. That's Hazin's point. Caught the net, sets up match point Carolina. That'll do it.
Take it.
Hazin finishes the night for the Gold Rush. Another 14-7 win for Carolina. And this puts the Gold Rush back atop the East Division standings as Hazin finishes it for the Gold Rush tonight.
Some fantastic matchups. Definitely felt like at times the Gold Rush was certainly challenged, but again at the end, just bringing it together. The team just bring it together for the Golden Game and really brought it home. And again, that 1-point head start, just a different mentality. Carolina Gold Rush victorious again.
Come on by to get your pictures and autographs with the players. And we look forward to seeing you right here live tomorrow. 11 a.m. the action begins.
So Carolina will take on Florida first thing tomorrow morning. 11 a.m. Central, it'll be noon Eastern, and that'll be a game for first place. Gold Rush go to sleep tonight atop the table, and Alex Yang joins us now. Alex, another intense battle. It was particularly interesting to us how the Golden Game order got all shuffled around, no rematches from what we saw earlier in the match. What was your kind of mindset as you created the Golden Game order coming out of the gates?
The Golden Game order depends what is before they did. So today Kenny against Enzo, I think he used to Enzo's strategy and the style. So I tried to put Romain, because Romain, I saw his last match, he was very good form, and also he was very hot hand, you know, it's warm hand, so I think he can get a lot of points. So then I put Kai Zhang against Pinto, because Kai Zhang has more confidence play with Pinto, all the styles, so I just like flip all the players.
One of the things that I noticed in the last singles match, the entire Chicago bench were out on the tables practicing. You kept your team on the bench. How important is it for you ahead of the Golden Game just to make sure that your team are there behind each other for every single match?
It's table tennis. This is a team match. So if player get a lot of people support, he will get more confidence. So why we win, we feel we like a family, like a friend, like a team. So.
What can you say about Roman's effort today? That felt like a really big win for him against Damian Provost, and obviously he was able to carry it over the hot hand, as you mentioned, in the Golden Game.
Roman has more confidence. It's very good strategy. And before we match, we prepare. We know Damian has very good backhand, so we most keep his forehand short and forehand deep. And then Roman need a lot of service attack to his middle and forehand. So the right strategy, so we have to win.
As you go to sleep tonight, what will be the biggest things you're thinking about as you get ready for the Florida Crocs in a battle for first place tomorrow?
Again, I told before we try to win 3. It's like one more match, so we will forget the 2 matches we already did. So prepare for tomorrow's, because I think we have a chance, but I may change something tomorrow.
Look forward to seeing what transpires. Alex, well done tonight. Congrats. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex Yang, as the Gold Rush get the 14-7 win for the second straight day. They take down the home team on their home turf. We got Jeremy Hazin with the headset. Jeremy, Emily comes out swinging against you in that golden game. She wins the first point, but you took control from there. What was the key to get the victory for you and your team tonight?
Yeah, so basically, like, I just wanted to make sure that I need to hit winners in order to win, because I expected her to miss the ball and just win the point because of her error. But the coach told me very clearly, if you want to win, you have to hit a winner. And of course, right now I'm not in the best of shape because I'm in college and I'm not training much, so I'm not very confident. But I guess in the end, I served and I killed the ball. I didn't think about the result. I just served and I killed the ball, and I was aggressive, which is why I eventually led the team to victory.
And one of the players in the league that's been playing really well is Daniele Pinto, and you know, he just had a really great win a week ago against Chinese national team player. How did you feel overall about that match? I mean, style matchup-wise, I think you handled it pretty well. It was a really close match between the two of you.
Yeah, so I know he's really good now. He had a very good result beating a Chinese national player, but I didn't think about that too much because I think style-wise, my style and his style match a lot. I think it was just that in the crucial moments, like I played very well throughout the match, so did he, but I think in the crucial moments, he took more of a risk than me, where I was very passive. I tried to take risks, but it was like passive-aggressive, and I think he was more aggressive, which led him to the slight victory over me. Yeah.
Jeremy, what are the biggest things you'll be thinking about as you get ready to face the Florida Crocs tomorrow?
I think just one word, winning. Because actually, like, we've beaten every team every single time, except for Florida twice. So I think if we beat Florida, and as of now, I think we're #1 on the standings. So if we finally beat Florida for the first time, we're going to be #1 by a lot. So I hope that we win. That's the only word I'm thinking right now, winning.
That's well said, well articulated. We'll leave it there. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Good
You're
job
welcome.
tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's a pretty good summation of where we are in the East Division right now. We can show you the numbers. Carolina has a slim
Cool 100.
lead. Their 2 golden game losses, I believe, were to Florida. And that is the reason they're not up even more in the standings. But I mean, look at Chicago. The singles record is better than anybody, and yet they're a long ways away from a playoff berth right now. And we got 2 interesting matches tomorrow to close the weekend. The battle for first place, and then Chicago and Princeton. One of these teams doesn't need just a win. They need a big win to try to get back into the race.
Yeah, definitely excited to see the top 2 and the bottom 2 in the division go head-to-head. They have a lot to prove. All 4 teams have something big to prove in these Sunday matches, so it's going to be a big day.
Really good day of table tennis today. 60% of all the games played were decided by 3 points or less. That's a big bump up from what we've seen. A lot of golden points as well over the course of the day. 1 out of every 5 games was decided by 1 point. So hopefully that intensity continues tomorrow. We'll see you noon Eastern, 11 Central for Florida and Carolina, the battle for first place in the MLTT East Division. For Matt Hetherington and our entire crew, Evan Lepler saying good night from Chicago as Carolina spoils the evening for the hometown win.